Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your March 2019 Lenormand reading. I'm Jade with Yes, Yes, Yes. Welcome back to the channel. Having a great time with you all. Hope you are too. We're going to do the Lenormand Spread, which is the Grand Tableau. It's going to be a general read for sun, moon, and rising signs or ascendants. And I want to also give you a couple of extra cards just because they're fun and I'm enjoying it. So this is from the Mike Dooley deck. Let's see if there's a message for you from Mike Dooley. It is, you might not know, you might not know now, but you will. That's why I love these cards. They're just great. You might not know now, but you will. So we'll see what comes through to tell you maybe what you might be learning, okay? And we're also going to do Gabby Bernstein, who, amazing, this is a good one. When I lean towards love, I am led. So lean in, Taurus. I know that there's a lot going on, specifically thinking about work situations and trying to build up the monies. But let's see if there's any love here. We're also going to look into health. We'll look into money. We'll look into to jobs. If you are resonating with this, I want to hear a comment from you just because I like to have the feedback. So if you're resonating and you feel inspired to comment, please do so below. And if you like the reading, let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out so much. And I really am enjoying being here with you all. So we're going to get started for Taurus in March 2019. Let's see where this all begins. For Taurus. First card, please. Got stuff all spread out. This is such a big spread that we'll see if we can get it all. I'm just going to lay it down. The child, the stars, the moon. You can see already I'm going to run out of space. Hold on here. Okay. The stork, the cross, the fish. There's the masculine and the ring. All right. So that is all in the camera. It's not quite aligned. I don't know why, but it's okay. We'll keep going. The whip, the bear, the letter, the coffin, the paths, the key, the birds, and the mice. The sun, the house, the lady, there's the feminine, the bouquet, excuse me, the clover, the fox, the lily, and the ship. Last line, anchor, the dog, the garden, and the clouds, the tree, the rider, the tower, and the mountain. And then the last four, the snake, the heart, the book, and the scythe. Okay, so first thing is, this is the feminine line. This is the past for the feminine, all that for the future. This is the masculine line. This is all the past, and then that is the future. I do want to check and see if there are any cards in their own deck. Oh, I forgot to mention I am dog sitting, so Kenji might want to be a part of the reading by barking. Sometimes he does that, but hopefully he won't. So just be aware that hopefully we'll see how that goes. All right, I am going to count and see if any of the cards are in their houses just to give an extra flavor to the reading. So give me a moment. Okay, so nothing is in its own house, which is totally fine. So let us get started here. So this line is about the masculine Taurus. It looks like the masculine Taurus, there is some type of commitment that he's nervous about. And the hard thing is that the heart is way down here, so it's hard to know if this is a business commitment. There are finances here, so it might be a business commitment. It's hard to know if it's a relationship because the heart is so very far away. So let's see. In the past, for both, there was some kind of new, perhaps faded, emotional, and again, it's a new beginning. So something is newly happening in the past that's emotionally connected. The stars is also about a lot of energy. So you could have been using a lot of energy in an emotional situation in the past, and you might have had to pull back on it just a bit because sometimes we give out too much energy, and so you might need to temper that in the past. But something new, there could have been a child involved. It's closer to the feminine, so the feminine Taurus might have a child, and if so, then that would mean that there was some type of emotional need, and children need it. They need support, of course, and they need the energy. So I'm thinking that that's might be what it was tied to specifically. It could also be tied to something that's a new financial connection here, and that's becoming a burden. So that's what we're getting to. So a feminine, we've just kind of recognized that we're using a lot of energy, and there your intuition might be cluing you in on this, saying, hey, hold it, not too much. Maybe you need a little bit more support with this child, or if this was some kind of new financial undertaking, and that could be maybe it was a partnership, a financial partnership. Maybe it is even tithing. Sometimes this card, the cross, can be specifically for a church. I'm not seeing the organization card, so I'm thinking that this is just a burden, like you're feeling like there's a weighted burden about your money. Here we are again. And it's not something that's new, even though we've got two new cards where, you tried something and then maybe it didn't work, and then you tried something else and it might not have worked. What I'm feeling is that you're trying different things that are along the same path of getting money. So it's like if you're an artist, you write a grant and then you're turned down, and then you write another grant and you're turned down again. And even though it's two separate grants, you're still kind of doing the same thing and you're not getting anywhere. And I'm feeling that that's what's going on here, is that it's something about you're doing something that's slightly different. You think it's a different way of going about earning money or creating a partnership with money, but it's not getting you closer to the money, because it's basically you're doing the same thing. You're trying it through the same avenues. And what I'm going to challenge you to do, or invite you to do, is draw back some more, right? Remember, with this star card here, we're putting a lot of energy out there, shooting it in a very marked way. Draw yourself back out, right? Look at the whole universe of things and take a look at if there are other opportunities that you can go after in a totally different way, maybe in a totally different way than you ever expected. There's a lot of change in the air, and all of us are being challenged to do things in a different way to set ourselves up for the future. And I feel like, especially Taurus, you want to make sure that your money is good. That's your stability, that's your structure. So you are looking to make sure that you have an overabundance, even, right? So this is the burden, a financial burden that you are holding on to. Feminine, you're getting to that point. This is what the masculine is feeling. Even though, and this could be for the masculine Taurus, you might be newlywed, and that could be why you have this financial burden. But you might just have a commitment to feeling, and it's a nervous commitment, feeling that you have to be secure financially, okay? And again, that makes sense as being a Taurus. What else is going on here? I'm going to leave it that line. Let's move on and we'll see if that line comes back some, okay? Now, there's some authoritative cards here. And these are in the past. So there was some repetition with authority in the past. Now, this could be where that energy was being exerted. If it was with a child, you might have had to go to the principal's office because the child kept getting into trouble, or going to, maybe even change schools because the child was getting into trouble. Now, this can be, again, work-related. My work cards aren't quite here yet, so we'll just see how it relates. And this is going to be the center of your reading. So there was some type of repetition with authority, and there was a written connection to it. This might be what's going on for you right now, feminine. It might be a report card, something like that with the child. But it could also be, I'm feeling like for some of you, it could just be lots of speeding tickets or something like that. Now, that situation is actually ending, which is great. It's changing up, and you're going to have a choice in the near future. And I'm feeling like whatever choice it is that you make, it's going to be successful for you. There might be a little bit of gossip around you, or you might be in conversation. Both the feminine and the masculine might be in conversations together, and they would be nervous conversations. Both these cards together, they're both kind of nervous energies when they're compounded, okay? The mice are already nervous, but when the birds are with the mice, there's even more nervousness, and one's a prey to the other. So it's not necessarily a helpful situation. So even though you have some success in whatever choice you make, your communication might be strained a bit this month. And that also makes sense because in March we have Mercury in retrograde, which is a strain on our relationships. So let me just sum up. There's some type of authoritative issue that happened in the past, specifically for the masculine further away. And the feminine, it's kind of you're dealing with it right now. But that's going to come to an end. You're going to be given a choice, one way or the other, and in how to end it. And the way that you choose, so sit into your intuition and decide. And I'm feeling like that choice is actually connected to your ingenuity, you looking out for yourself. So when you choose to look out for yourself best, that's when you're going to make the best choice. But the nervousness may be in dealing with this authoritative figure, or whatever this choice is. There's going to be some nervousness still involved with it. And it's something that, it might be family talking, and there might be a little bit of worry because you might have to start traveling soon. That's an outside, that might be for one person. So I just wanted to put that out there. And feminine to the masculine, that's the path, right? That's the path that you are connected to each other, is about making this choice and trying to be as least nervous in your communication as possible. But again, right now, the masculine is committed to something that's making him nervous, and what I'm feeling like is that it's more of a financial commitment, or he has a financial burden because of a commitment that he has made. And again, that commitment could be marriage, but it could be a financial partnership with someone, and that's just getting eaten away at, okay? All right, let's move to the third line. In the past, there was success with a home, okay? So it might have been a home sale, it might have been, you sold a home, or that you purchased a home, or that you moved to a home. Something along home lines, there was a lot of success. For the feminine right now, we're moving forward. For the masculine, that's further away. For the feminine, here we are. There's been some support, and I actually like both of these cards, the bouquet and the clover together. They're both supportive cards. They're both luck. They're both generosity. So there's a lot of support that's being garnered for you to move in a more of an entrepreneurial line, excuse me. So if you are considering that, it's right underneath your finances, okay? So we talked about that even up here, I think, is that if you make a choice that has to do with looking out for yourself, it's, the fox is about cunningness and inventiveness. So if you have an ingenious idea, present that to your boss, present that maybe, to the world, start a new company, something along those lines. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of support for you to go in that direction, and that's going to lead you to more abundance financially. The other thing that's coming up outside of that is that there's this, it's either a long-term travel pursuit that you're looking at, like maybe taking a long trip somewhere, or maybe it's an old dream that you've had to travel, but there's just been some challenges and some nervousness. Maybe this is, again, if it's a honeymoon for this masculine, you guys just never have been able to take that honeymoon. There's just a little bit of nervousness. It's just, there's something about a connection here. And if this is a financial partnership for the masculine, you just haven't been able to withdraw enough to trust that the business is going to run on its own. You're just kind of linked in and bogged down by it. There's a lot of burdens with this business, okay? All right. Let's see. And it looks like travel is challenged this month. And that, again, is because Mercury retrograde. So just be aware of that. Travels might be, they might be slowed down or delayed. That's the word. And that's, the mountain is a delay card. Okay, fourth line, here we go. So there's some type of really stable friendship that you have in the past, and it could be multiple friends with this garden card being here. Maybe you all get together maybe once a week and, connect, go out, shoot pool, have drinks, whatever it is. But there's really great community of friends surrounding you. There is somebody who's underneath it all, who's a little slithery. And this could be that someone who is making choices for themselves that could ultimately damage you, even though they're not trying to damage you, okay? Sometimes this is a card of deceit. Where it's laying right now, it's just kind of up underneath the community card. So it just means that somebody in the community is kind of being a little shifty. So just be aware of that. If you know who this person is, just keep them at arm's length. Keep an eye on them. If you don't know who this person is, then just be not kind of on alert. Just be aware that that's, there's always going to be that probably. It does cause some confusion. So with this person being kind of, shifty and moving things around, there's a little bit of confusion, and it might be confusion related to love. So maybe there is a person that you're interested in, specifically for the feminine, and you have someone, maybe a friend, who is also interested in that same person. So it's creating this this confusing situation where, there's a bit of struggle between the two in trying to be seen by that person. Okay. There's also going to be some confusion just in terms of your family. Okay. And feeling healthy, feeling at home. This is also a card of legacy too. So if we're talking about love, then if you have an ideal of what your family will look like, this person that you might have met may or may not be all that you've ever wanted. And so it's creating confusion because you have this other person involved, or you have this other person that you're competing with. So it's causing a little bit of pressure on you, and maybe your health is suffering a bit, or that you're more concerned with your physical nature. So that would mean that, maybe you go out and you spend a little bit more on makeup. You're wanting to make yourself look better, making sure that the grass is greener here. Make sure that everything that you're doing for yourself is in alignment with who you are. And it is still along the lines of your integrity, because you don't want to sell yourself as someone that you're not, because that'll end up being a tower moment, and nobody likes that. So just know, and again, this person, whoever, if this is someone who is you're competing against, they're also feeling that same thing. I'm wondering if it's maybe a sister or a cousin, someone that you might even be related to, where, you both have your eye on the same person. Or maybe someone you feel like is a sister. So it seems like that is an issue that's happening. What I will say right now is it looks like there's a clearer line for that person towards the masculine. It is quite a bit of a line, so it would take them some time to get to that masculine. You do have it basically. If it's going to work out, it's going to work out. Right now, I'm seeing that the masculine is really worried about money and not even really thinking about relationship. And what I'm seeing here is that this other person that is competing with you has to go extra mile to be seen by this masculine. So I wouldn't even really worry about it at this point. I feel like there are many other things that both you two could be worried about or thinking about. And what's showing up is actually coming forward is some type of organization or higher education. Could be even church, like it's an institution of some sort that's creating some type of slow delays or challenges for you. We begin the month here with this new beginning, or perhaps, if we're thinking about children, or we have a child in our life, and then we're ending with a place of delays and kind of slowing down challenges, or maybe even isolation. So, and this is going on for the masculine. Again, like I said, if the masculine's kind of in his own head right now, worrying about other things. If he is married, he is having some nervous issues because there's some delays and there's some challenges with the journey of the marriage, with what he thought the marriage would have been or was going to be like. If he's not married and this is a commitment to a partnership in business, then it's the same thing. It's just a partnership in business. But what I'm feeling is that coming further on down through the month is that there's going to be some delays. There's going to be some issue or isolation, some feeling of removing yourself from maybe the world, just kind of, pulling back a bit. Taking your time on your own, maybe studying, getting to, watching some more YouTube videos, whatever it is. But I'm feeling that for you, Taurus, towards the end of the month. Now let's look at the 4 cards, the final 4 cards. We've talked about the snake a little bit. When we see the snake next to the heart, it's usually telling us that the heart, whatever the relationship is, that there is a problem with the relationship, that there could be another person involved, that there's some kind of deceit in the relationship, that there is something that's moving underfoot, that a secret's coming out and it's coming out quickly. So I haven't been speaking specifically to relationship here because I've got the 2 people very far away from each other. So if Taurus, if you are here and you're like, yeah, I'm in a relationship, what's going on? What I'm feeling here is that the 2 parties are very far away. The masculine is really all about money right now. He's a little maybe disheartened, but disillusioned with commitment. The feminine is really wanting to make her way towards him. He is on her mind, however, and she's feeling the love, but there might be there might be another suitor involved, another person involved, but there could also be, this can also just be, the snake can just be the doubts in the relationship, something working against the relationship. Could be fate, could be karma. It doesn't have to be an actual person either. So I'm just not seeing it, and I'm not seeing any breakups, but what I am seeing is that there's something moving underneath. And there's something going to come out quickly. Doesn't say that it's going to end the relationship. It just means that the conversation will be had maybe towards the end of the month. This is what's, the baseline of what's been going on. The feminine might feel more in a place to remove herself towards the end of the month. And right now, that's what where the masculine is. He's in nervousness. He's in an isolative place. So, Taurus, you are processing quite a bit this month. Now, you might not know now, but you will. So maybe by the end of this month, you will know exactly what's been going on. I would love to hear from you about it, in fact. So, leave me a comment. Let me know how it's unfolding. Of course, I don't wish any, ill on anyone. And so I would hope that, perhaps we're talking only about a work relationship, not the love relationship, and that is actually going quite well. When I lean towards love, I am led. So lean in towards find the uncomfortable edge of where love is, and then challenge yourself to go a little bit further. And I think that no matter if you're in relationship or not, that's going to take you to a next level place where you're not going to keep repeating old patterns, and you can make that next step, that level up, which is really March is going to call for that for a lot of people. I hope this makes sense for you, Taurus. Give me a thumbs up if you're feeling it. And again, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to work with me, all of that information is in the box below. My website is there. And for now, I'm going to send you all my love.